Too small.
Saturday night. Remember, make sure you turn up, bro.
Yeah. Always turn up.
Make sure. Bring it.
Make sure you bring it. Make sure you bring it.
Daniel Dubois just attacked Oleksandr Usyk on the airport, and honestly, it's laughable. You lose the fight, get schooled for rounds, and then show up at the airport trying to swing like it's round 13? That's not a comeback, it's a meltdown. Dubois needs a reality check, not a rematch. After that airport madness, Usyk's face said it all. He was fuming. No fear, no backing down. Street fight? I'm ready right now. That's a real warrior talking. Dubois tried to sneak chaos, but all he got was Usyk's icy wrath. You don't poke a lion after losing to him. Usyk looked like he was seconds from folding him on the floor. No gloves needed.
I'm ready one fight and tomorrow. And the rematch. And the street fight.
Joe Rogan absolutely ripped into Dubois, and rightly so. You lost in the ring, now you're throwing cheap shots in the airport lounge like it's some kind of rematch? Rogan called it out. No game plan, no mindset, just pure delusion. Dubois didn't just embarrass himself in the ring, now he's doing it under airport CCTV. Usyk didn't swing first, but he sure finished it with that icy stare.
Yeah.
Or have you been just kind of fucking off here and there, and then you're like, I can fucking do it?
Yeah.
Because I can fucking do it is not a good.
Eddie Hearn looked genuinely disturbed. When a promoter says, I don't want to see it, you know it's bad. Watching Dubois lose his head and lunge at Usyk like some wild amateur. That's not boxing, it's desperation. Usyk's one of Eddie's heroes, and Dubois made a fool of himself trying to start round 2 at Terminal 3.
I'm not saying abandon the fight. I'm just going, not for me, mate. I don't want to watch it. So, like...
Gareth called it very disappointing, and that's putting it lightly. Daniel Dubois looked like a man fully unhinged. You lose with no excuses, and then try to jump Usyk at the airport? What kind of clown show is that? Instead of regrouping and earning respect, Dubois is out here brawling in public like a frustrated schoolboy. No control, no class, no clue.
Pointing, of course, Umar, and I think I've just been piecing it together today. I haven't been reporting on it this morning.
When your own sister calls you a disgrace, you know you've hit rock bottom. Caroline Dubois saying that out loud tells you everything. Daniel's actions, both inside the ring and at the airport, have embarrassed not just himself, but his family too. He didn't just lose to Usyk, he mentally folded. Now he's lashing out, acting like a tough guy in terminals because he couldn't stand toe-to-toe in the ring. Usyk didn't need to say a word. Caroline did the job for him, and the truth stings, Daniel isn't built for the elite level. He's crumbling under the weight of his own hype, while Usyk keeps climbing, cool as ever. If your own blood publicly questions your dignity, maybe it's time to look in the mirror instead of trying to swing at legends at baggage claim. And then Derek Chisora gave his take, and he didn't sugarcoat anything either.
Don't pretend the man is supremely talented, but time and season is everything in the sport.
Derek Chisora dropped straight wisdom, and Dubois should listen. You want to be a killer? Hang out with killers. Instead, Dubois is hanging around baggage belts, trying to scrap like it's Fight Night 2.0. He focused on the drama, not the discipline. Usyk, on the other hand, is the killer Chisora's talking about, a silent assassin who trains like a machine and doesn't waste time on childish stunts. This is what separates the greats from the wannabes. Dubois still thinks fighting is about throwing punches, but he's ignoring the mindset, the grind, the heart. Meanwhile, Usyk is levels ahead, physically, mentally, spiritually. Derek's message wasn't just a jab, it was a warning. If you're not serious, you'll keep losing, and then you'll start acting out in places like airports just to feel relevant. Dubois needs less rage and more reality checks. And Russ Anber, he laid out exactly why Usyk's dominance is only getting scarier.
I think that you got to put him up there, man. That was phenomenal. People talking about age, you know, was he showing signs of...
Russ Anber nailed it. Usyk may be 38, but he's fighting like he's 28. Stronger, smarter, sharper with every bout. Meanwhile, Dubois is out here trying to throw tantrums instead of punches. That airport stunt wasn't about bad intentions, it was about a bad mentality. He couldn't land clean in the ring, so he thought he'd land cheap shots by surprise. Usyk's aging like fine wine, outclassing Joshua, breaking down Fury, and humiliating Dubois twice. What's Daniel doing? Picking fights in public and getting mocked by fans and fighters alike. Russ sees it clearly. Age doesn't matter when your mindset's elite. Dubois still hasn't learned that. He thought he could overpower Usyk, but ended up outboxed, outthought, and now out of control. You can't beat greatness with emotions, and you definitely don't shake Usyk by yelling across an airport. Now Martin Bakole gives his verdict, and it's nothing short of brutal for Dubois.
No, I thought it could be dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do. You know, he controlled, moved, waited, but then he started landing hard. Martin
Bakole's words echo the truth. Usyk is the best right now, no debate, undefeated, undisputed, unstoppable. While Dubois is running around causing airport drama like it's Love Island on tour, Usyk's legacy grows fight after fight. Bakole calls him a machine, and he's not wrong. Usyk's style, stamina, and steel nerves make him a complete monster. Meanwhile, Dubois couldn't beat him in the ring, and still hasn't accepted it. That clash at the airport? Just another embarrassing attempt to stay relevant. You don't become great by throwing hands in terminals. You become great by earning respect. Usyk's doing that. Dubois is just throwing tantrums. Bakole's praise isn't flattery. It's recognition of a master at work. And Dubois? He's miles away from that level. Instead of lashing out, he should be taking notes. And when Don Charles spoke, you could feel the frustration. He didn't even have words.
It's the best for right now. For this moment now is the best. Retire or keep fighting. He done amazing. This guy is a machine. So it's the best right now, to be honest. So he's still undefeated. Nobody.
Don Charles being speechless says everything, because sometimes silence hits harder than words. Watching Dubois fold again and again and then act like a gangster at the airport, it's become embarrassing. Don's frustration isn't just about the fight, it's about the circus that followed. Round 4 was brutal, but what came after was worse. Dubois didn't just lose in the ring, he lost his head, while Usyk stayed calm, composed, and unbothered. Dubois tried to pick a fight in public like some frustrated YouTuber trying to go viral. Charles saw what we all saw, a fighter mentally broken, grasping at anything to salvage ego. Usyk didn't con anyone, he conquered, and Dubois, he cracked. If your own team can't find words anymore, maybe it's time to stop talking and start rebuilding.
I'm speechless. I usually got a lot to say. I'm speechless. The fight ended in round 4, and we got conned out of it.
Eddie Hearn laid it out perfectly. Usyk doesn't run from pressure, he adapts and dominates. First round? Sure, Dubois came out aggressive, but after that, Usyk flipped the switch and went beast mode. He didn't just outbox Dubois, he beat him up. That's the mark of a champion. He beat AJ twice, he tamed Fury, and he broke Dubois twice. That airport chaos wasn't a rematch attempt. It was a cry from a man who couldn't deal with getting outclassed by a genius. While Dubois swings in panic, Usyk reads the moment, switches gears, and controls the narrative. That's elite. That's why Hearn calls it unbelievable. Dubois may have hands, but Usyk's got a legacy. He fights with IQ, not impulse. And after humbling the so-called heavyweight monsters, Usyk proved again he's not just the man to beat, he's the man no one can beat. Dubois isn't on that level, not in the ring, and certainly not at the airport. And Dave Allen, he said what most were thinking, but with savage honesty.
Usyk was under pressure in the first round because Dubois comes out fast like he did against AJ, and if he catches you, you're in trouble. And I think just after that, he just decided basically, I'm not going to go on the back foot anymore. I'm going to take the fight to Dubois. And he just kind of beat him up and obviously stopped him. I mean, he's beaten AJ twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Unbelievable.
Dave Allen said it straight. Dubois quit. No injury excuse, no confusion, just folded. That finishing shot didn't send him into another dimension. It sent him straight into denial. He stood up like nothing happened, but the fight was over because his heart wasn't in it. That's why fans are livid. That's why critics don't respect him. And that's exactly why he exploded at Usyk in the airport, because deep down, he knows he bottled it. You don't try to fight a man in public unless you're haunted by what he did to you in private. Dave Allen didn't just call him a quitter, he declared himself the chairman of the Quit Committee. That's next level roasting. Meanwhile, Usyk didn't even acknowledge Dubois' tantrum. Why would he? He already broke him mentally in the ring. Dubois keeps trying to rewrite history, but everyone remembers the truth. And the truth is, Usyk didn't just beat him, he exposed him. You can't brawl your way out of that. And then came Lennox Lewis, the legend himself, saluting Usyk's brilliance.
Dubois got up at the count of 10, and he walked straight past Usyk, straight to the corner. He was completely fine. I think, and you know what, it's horrific to say, I've quit. It's not horrific to say, I'm a quitter. I'm chairman of the Quit Committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway, he quit, yeah, he did.
When Lennox Lewis calls you unbelievable, you know you've reached the top. And that's exactly what he said about Usyk. Calm under pressure, clean counterpunching, flawless footwork. Usyk was on fire. While Dubois came in with brute force and zero adaptability, Usyk used brains and balance. He saw everything coming and picked him apart round by round. That jab Lennox mentioned, it was surgical. Dubois couldn't get past it, and when he tried, he walked into a storm. That's why Usyk doesn't need trash talk or dirty tactics. His boxing IQ does the talking. And now the airport meltdown from Dubois makes even more sense. It's frustration spilling out of a man who knows he got outclassed. Lennox knows the levels, and he saw a master at work. Usyk didn't just win, he showed the blueprint of elite heavyweight boxing. Dubois may have rage, but Usyk has rhythm. That's the difference between a hothead and a Hall of Famer. And Duke McKenzie added salt to the wound, breaking down just how lost Dubois looked in that fight.
Fifth. I thought we were in the 6th or 7th. Was it 5th round? Well, okay, see, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I mean, I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, you know.
Duke McKenzie didn't mince words. Dubois looked gassed in round 1. Not round 6, not late stretch. Round 1. That's not pressure, that's panic. And the worst part? Usyk hadn't even warmed up yet. While Daniel stood stiff and drained, Usyk got sharper with every second. That's why McKenzie pointed out the jab, because that's supposed to be Dubois' strength. But against Usyk, it vanished. No timing, no rhythm, no snap, just wild swings and confusion. And when you crumble that early, you start making excuses. You start causing drama in airports. You start pretending you're still in the fight when everyone saw you weren't. Usyk didn't just beat him, he took the fight out of him. You can't fake composure in front of 20,000 fans, and you definitely can't fake it when Lennox Duke and the boxing world is watching. That airport outburst was the final crack. Dubois wasn't just tired physically, he's drained mentally. And Usyk, he hasn't even peaked yet.
Dubois, to me, in the first round, looked really tired. I don't know if it was the occasion that got to him. Obviously, Usyk got to him, but his punches had no snap on them. When Dubois fought Anthony Joshua, in the first round, he sat out his stall and he went to work straight away. Steady jab, stiff jab, big jab. He jabbed Joshua to death in the first 30 seconds. But in this fight against Usyk, the jab was pretty much non-existent.
Daniel Dubois just attacked Oleksandr Usyk at the airport, and honestly, it felt like the final meltdown of a man who's lost all control. You don't swing at your rival between boarding gates unless something inside you has snapped. This wasn't a fighter making a statement. This was a broken man trying to rewrite a painful chapter. Usyk didn't provoke. He didn't scream. He didn't even flinch. He stood tall, calm as ever, like a champion who's already won the war and now watches his enemy fall apart in slow motion. Dubois wasn't fighting Usyk, he was fighting his own shame. After getting dominated twice in the ring, after being labeled a quitter, after losing the public's respect, this airport outburst was his last gasp for relevance. But here's the truth. You don't beat Usyk with rage, you beat him with greatness. And Daniel's shown he doesn't have that level. Meanwhile, Usyk keeps rising, smarter, stronger, and mentally untouchable. If they ever meet again, the result won't be different, it'll be worse. Because now, Usyk's seen the cracks not just in Dubois' skills, but in his soul. So here's the big question. Is this the tragic downfall of Daniel Dubois? Or can he redeem himself before it's too late? And is Usyk already marching into legend status as the most composed killer in the game? Let us know below. Are you riding with the Iceman Usyk, or do you think Dubois has anything left to give?